Hey, and good morning, and welcome to Talent Talk. I am Ashley Diaz, and with me we have Davina Clarity.
Woo! I'm kidding.
Oh, you scared me. Good morning, Davina. We have Jurgen Robinson.
Woo!
I knew it was coming.
I couldn't resist.
Are you ready, Steve? Because next we have your boy, Steve Chung.
Woo!
You guys are so awesome.
That's almost better than appendiculation.
Yeah, it really works. Ashley, get yours, girl. Come on, bring it.
I'm not ready yet. Got kids sleeping, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, they're not anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, happy Friday. Do you guys have any fun plans for this weekend?
I'm looking forward to the sunshine. Actually, it's supposed to be like in the 80s today, so I'm definitely going to soak up some sun. And yeah, Donna, I think Donna's in the background. Somebody's having and planning to go to dinner maybe this weekend.
No, I'd say we're super excited. She can say "woo" in the background. But yeah, the first thing when we heard it was opening up, and we just went out and made the reservations to have a nice dinner out and actually sit in a restaurant and be served and just enjoy a little time out of the home. Oh my goodness, I'm way more excited than I should be.
Okay, so Donna's birthday then is this weekend?
It is.
You just muted yourself. Okay, there you go.
Yes, my dog was coming in.
Oh.
Yo, dog.
She's so loud.
DWG.
AKA my husband. Oh, and we just got word that it's also Lindsay's birthday tomorrow. So we got lots of birthdays this weekend.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, forgot where I was going that, but I did forget to introduce, and I'm so sorry, ladies. Donna is here making us look so cool, and then Christy is doing the same. She's on all our social medias. So sorry, ladies, I didn't introduce you, but they're there. They're here with us, and we're so thankful for them. So I am really excited about today. We have a guest too. Davina, do you want to tell us about today?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So we are celebrating today. It's the Learn About Composting Day. Is it composting or composting?
Composting.
Composting, not composting.
Compost.
It's not composting.
Am I putting the emphasis on the wrong syllable?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So today is Learn About Composting Day. And it's a great opportunity to go green and help the environment. Composting and help the environment. So composting is easy. So it makes you feel good. So if you compost, you feel good. Knowing that you're doing your part to help keep your environment a little bit cleaner. So you may be surprised how easy it is to compost. We're going to learn today a little bit about that, and that everyone can compost. So, composting is basically nature's way of recycling. And yard waste and food waste are broken down to feed our food and plants. So it's the natural cycle, and we can do that every day. So we're going to learn a little bit more about that with our special guest a little bit later. But there's a compost joke. Okay, I didn't make this one up, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. All right. What do you call a worm that can rap? Compost Malone. Wow.
I'm gonna leave. Add a little auto tune.
Okay. Anyway, okay. So trivia question. How much trash does the average American produce each year? So one person, average American, How much trash does that one person produce? Is it 772 pounds, 1,072 pounds, 2,072 pounds, or 3,072 pounds of trash per year? So
I'm sure to know the answer.
Either. I don't know the answer. I don't know what my guess would be.
I think it's got to be higher than A for sure, though.
Definitely. You know, I think about when I do a dump run, and we're about a half ton every month.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. But that's for your whole family, though, right?
It is.
So, but over time, how many dump runs do you do divided by
right
number of people?
Family?
Yeah.
I'm going to go a B. It's kind of middle of the road.
I'm gonna go at least C.
I'm thinking C.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna go D for Davina.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I see you.
I see you.
D all the way.
I see you, D.
Yep.
You like that? No one chooses name.
Oh gosh.
All right. So
Maybe we'll be surprised, and it'll be less.
I know. We'll find out. You're welcome, everyone. I knew you had that.
Shout out to Christy for the joke.
Right.
Malone.
Compost Malone. Yeah, the worm's all tatted up on his neck and his face. You know.
Isn't the worm all neck?
All right, you guys. While you guys are working on getting us an answer for our trivia question, we will run through some updates, quick updates, before we bring in our special guest. So, a couple of quick updates. Today at 9 o'clock, we have Forms Friday. We'll be going over low appraisal and financing addendum, how those kind of work with each other. The next item is Facebook Friday, which is going to be posted up on our Facebook website. And it's going to be Dan Caro. He's a world-class musician and motivational speaker. He's got a great backstory behind him about overcoming adversity and challenges. And if you think you've got problems, you need to, hear the Dan Caro story. So looking forward to seeing that one. Next item up, we have the Master Certified Negotiation Expert certification coming up next week, June 2nd through the 4th. So for those of you who were in our Certified Negotiation Expert class last month, this month coming up in June next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have the Master Certified Negotiation Expert class going on next week. The next item up, we have Talent Talk next week on Monday. We have a special guest coming up, Larry Stamp from Cameo Home Inspections, and we also have a few other people coming on, or a few other guests scheduled for next week. So stay tuned. One other change that we're going to be doing as well is Talent Talk. We are moving to a new schedule. Our schedule is going to be same time, but we are kind of scaling back a little bit to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We've done this during our Stay Home, Stay Healthy. We wanted to make sure that we're reaching out and touching and engaging with our folks. But as we move forward and getting ready to open up the offices, we're adjusting the Talent Talk schedule, but we will still be here, and it'll be continuing here for our near future.
And we're also looking at with Tuesdays and Thursdays doing some special experimenting a little bit with some other formats to try some new things, from maybe some more personalized interviews or some different types of segments, just to continue to get better at what we do and continue to provide value for everyone out there too.
So just the change, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just one last little thing too is Stephen you'd mentioned about the CNE class that we had, which led up to the Master Certified Negotiation Expert certification. And there were people who ended up missing that Certified Negotiation Expert certification. So if you did and you were really interested in actually getting that, it was a phenomenal class. It is actually going to be offered one more time on June 10th through 12th. It's virtually, it's online through Zoom, and it really is fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. And it's a certification that many do not get. So if you are, we had the class, and we actually had a really good turnout a few weeks ago. And it's really a certification that many realtors do not pursue. So those of us that actually got that certification are now part of a very small, I can't remember the percentage. And then as the master negotiation, because a lot of people that finish the C&E don't go to the MC&E. And so that's even a smaller percentage. So I mean, like literally you are a very small and unique percentage of our realtor population that has the negotiation tools. So it's great.
Elite.
The elite. The elite. So It's not too late. You can catch up.
Yeah, and one of those stats that comes out from NAR is that the 4%. Thank you, Pat. Is one of the top 3 things that that people are looking for in their real estate broker is negotiation expertise, and a lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people just try to figure it out along the way, and they practice on their clients as opposed to going out and getting the education. And really, I couldn't recommend it more. It was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I guess it's time for our guest, isn't it? We're going to talk about some composting. Composting?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Why didn't we let her tell us? And wait. Oh, Michelle, you know what? I have to do this because Christy. There we go.
Good morning, guys.
I can pause.
Yeah.
Good morning, Michelle.
Every time. I'm all good with those. I can do those.
So Michelle, I feel like you need to know. So yesterday when we were talking about Learn to Compost Day, all of us were a little bit like, we don't really know much about that. And so you are the first person that came to all of our minds to teach us a little bit about this. So thank you for joining us so we can all learn. And I think there's a couple of us in this group too who have the capability to do it. So I feel like I'm going to be following up with them after you teach us a little bit more about it.
Well, on that embarrassing side, I've had a compost barrel with a handle on the side for 4 years, sitting on the side of my home, untouched. I have no idea if there's even something in it right now. There could be, and I would not know.
I would turn it before I open it. Kind of.
Oh, really? It might be sludge right now.
Well, you might be able to tell if it's empty or not. But at first I was like, composting? What do I know about composting? And then after I thought about it for a minute, I was like, I guess I'm kind of a compost expert. So I came up with this thing after reading what's on EPA guidelines, because I thought, well, what is everybody thinking about composting right now? Because, I do it differently than what most of you guys are going to do. So composting, by definition, is turning soil into a better soil. So you need soil. It doesn't need to be great soil. You need greens, which are from your kitchen or your yard waste. And then you need browns, which are your dried leaves, your sticks. And some people use paper, but I would not recommend using much paper. I would stay away from printed papers, slick papers, and newspaper, because you don't know what's in the ink and you're going to put it into your food. So we normally stay away from putting paper into the compost. Now, as a farming rural person, I don't put paper in the compost at all because I end up having to dig it back out. It doesn't seem to decompose the way that the other matter does. So on that note, I also never throw yard waste or vegetable waste in my compost pile. I actually compost all the things they tell you not to compost, except for, except for pet waste. I don't, keep the pet waste away because they're toxic because they eat meat. I don't normally put meat waste in the compost, but I do put fish bones, fish heads, fish skin, clams, oysters, oyster shells, clam shells, and everything like that, because we use them not only to feed the soil, but also to remove pests from the garden. So if you have a lot of pests, you can use oyster shell as part of your mulch. And you always mulch your garden. If you don't mulch your garden, you're going to waste your life weeding. And I kind of do this sort of Buddhist Zen gardening where everyone's like, oh, everything looks beautiful. You spend all your life here. And I really don't. I tend the soil, I mulch it, and I make compost out of actually my livestock waste and what I call hot soil, which is when I have to go. Because I don't know. I'm from Washington for only 5 years. So when I go to dig in the ground, the soil isn't very usable. So I usually go to the garden center and I get garden soil. I'm sure lots of you go do it. You need potting soil, garden soil. Well, I get it home and it's full of animal manure. Who wants that? Yuck, right? So what you do, the same thing you would do with your urban compost pile. I like to use weed block cloth. It's black, it's heavy, things don't grow through it. Throw your soil, your greens, your brown material, whatever you're putting in your compost, and stir it up and put another layer of black fabric. Here's tip number 2. Always put your compost in the sunshine. Never keep it in the shade. You're going to end up with moldy, rotten, unhealthy mush if you put it in the shade. And the number 1 tip is always turn it. And it can take anywhere from 2 months to 2 years to develop the type of soil that you're going to want to use in your garden or in your household plant potters. And that's my expertise, guys. Do you have questions?
See, Jurgen, you could have had 2 years worth of great soil compost for your garden.
Yeah,
full time.
And to be honest, I had to look into it, and I follow this guy out of Australia. He's called Self-Sufficient Me, and he has a YouTube channel with just worlds of information. And he's by far an expert on growing in hot, arid conditions, like New Mexico, where I grew up, or some of Eastern Washington. But he will show you that you can just take your raised garden bed, dig a trench in it, throw your vegetable waste in there, and cover it over and come back a couple of months later and it's just soil. So there are remarkable ways to do it. And if you're interested, there's one rule I found. Find out what works for you. Read what's on the internet. Maybe contact me if you have questions, because what I found was I never put it in the shade. I compost all the things they tell you not to. And they don't put paper in there. So go from there.
So if Jurgen, if he was to start composting today, what kind of stuff would he be throwing in that bin?
Okay, well, so there's a lot of mixed reviews on those turning bins. And from my experience with trying to compost kitchen waste is you end up with a lot more waste than those bins can manage. And you need about 1 to 1 part of everything. So you need about 1 part soil, 1 part brown matter, and 1 part green matter. And you'll end up maybe having to change that ratio as it decomposes. So it takes a remarkable amount of soil and brown matter to keep that green matter from rotting and smelling really terrible while you're composting.
So this is way more difficult than I thought, because I was just going to save the leftover lettuce, throw it in there.
It's so simple. This is what I would say. Take a trash barrel if you don't have a place where you can lay out a rectangle. What I would recommend is taking a square or rectangle tarp or black, weed block cloth. Put your soil, put everything you want to compost in there, and then turn it so that there's soil or maybe make layers so you don't have to turn it, depending on how lazy you're feeling that day, and cover it and come back in 2 months. Turn it and cover it again. And it's really that simple. Experiment and turn it and cover it. Don't put dairy or meat or things that will bring critters into your neighborhood, because you're going to hate yourself and your neighbors might not like you.
Your neighbors are going to hate you too.
Who says I like my neighbors?
Oh.
Or neighbor wars.
Jurgen wants raccoons in his backyard.
No. Man, that was a lot more informational than I anticipated. I was like, oh my goodness, am I supposed to take notes?
You could have, right? I tried to make it interesting because I was like, compost, we're going to talk about dirt, right, guys?
I'm super interested in just reducing my what I throw away. Okay. For me, that's what was interesting, was that maybe my trash wouldn't be so full, and then I could also help my garden too. But this is going to be a little bit more difficult.
You really can, and it's really not difficult. You just have to have a small sunny spot, and I do really recommend keeping it, because the sun cooks it, and the hotter it gets, then you cook out any bad organisms, anything that you're worried about spreading into your soil for future use. It's less stinky when it's hot. Because believe it or not, it just cooking it, and you have to have dirt on top.
What happens if
you have
kid
to have
toys
dirt
are in there? Donna seems to think the kids need soft toys in there.
Do what?
Is the kids' toys compost or?
Well, most of those don't break down.
They'll be there forever.
Yeah, please don't tell me I have to fish it out with my hand.
Preferably your teeth.
A rake, maybe.
Wow. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for teaching us. I have a lot more questions for you, though, so we'll have to save that for another day. But if you want, you could stick around as we jump into some headlines and wrap it up.
Sure.
You'd be happy.
As a quick tip, if you're nearby any local urban farmer that maybe has goats or chickens, they might be interested in taking your vegetable scraps from you.
Oh, good point. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. I don't know. I think I have a compost bin back there from our previous owner, but I haven't touched it either. So
you haven't touched it?
No. Yeah. I'm scared.
Well, if it's been that many years, I would, turn it, because then you know if it's empty or not. Maybe put your face mask on. Hazmat suit. It depends on how you're feeling.
I'm not even asking how long it takes the body to decompose, but it's.
Yeah, that takes a while. I don't know. I'm not an expert.
I'm glad you aren't. Oh my. Well,
I think that's going to take us over to you, Jurgen.
All right. Michelle, thank you so much. And then we're going to get into headlines. We have nothing but the smoothest transitions here. Okay, so we've got a few headlines for you. So first is Pierce County leaders push to enter phase 2 of reopening. We know that the leaders in Pierce County are pushing the Tacoma-Pierce County Health District to approve county to move into phase 2. They say they've got half the infection rates of King and Snohomish County per 100,000. So we'll see where that goes. It's really within the governor's hands on that. Thurston County mandates masks as it moves into phase 2 of reopening. This is not a huge fan of this, but we do what we need to do. It's not only when you enter a public building, but even if you are outside in a public area and you are within 6 feet of somebody that it does not live in your home, they're mandating that you wear a mask outside. This is kind of cool. A star-studded relief concert with Seattle musicians airs June 10th on King 5 or Kong. It's on June 10th. It starts at 7 o'clock. It's an hour-long concert, and it includes actually a lot of local artists from Alan Stone, Ciara, who now is, you could say, is a local artist, Dave Matthews Band, Joel McHale, Brandy Carlisle, Pearl Jam, Macklemore, Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson will be there, and of course Sir Mix-a-Lot. So, and a few more. And Jeff Bezos is pledging to match individual donations under $1 million up to $25 million of his own money. And it's all from All in Washington, hoping to raise $65 million to support local charities. So that's a good one. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. That'll be fun. What is an O-shaped recovery? This is kind of getting into the real estate stuff. And hint, it would be really bad. So we've talked about different recoveries. We've talked about a V-shaped recovery, down and then a sharp up. We've talked about a U-shaped recovery. So we've kind of gone down and then we come up a little bit softer. We've talked about a W recovery, and that's what most people are starting to feel it might be a little more. We go down, we start to come back up. Fall hits and we have some level of a resurgence. We go down a little bit and then we come back up again. An O shape is actually just a 360. It goes all the way back to the beginning. That would be bad. But take a look at the article if you want to know a little more about what that is. Airbnb hosts are planning to sell off their properties because of the pandemic. People are just with the quarantine and travel restrictions, they're not going around as much, and vacation market has really suffered on that. So, if you do know anybody that is potentially has Airbnbs or vacation by owner type rentals, you might want to reach out to them because they may be hurting right now and they may need your assistance if you're in real estate. Mortgage rates hit another all-time low. So, man, for 3 months in a row, the national average has gone down, and this week it's down to 3.15%. Really good news, and that's according to Freddie Mac, which is the lowest in almost 5 decades of tracking. So that's good news for buyers or folks who might want to refinance. So, get on it. For a cool little story, Portland family they peeled off vinyl siding, and they found the cedar siding underneath was really discolored, and they were going to just fix it up a little bit and repaint it. So they decided to paint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slats of color down the side and put a QR code for people who were walking by to vote on which one. They expected maybe a couple hundred votes. When it got posted on social media with the QR code, they got over 70,000 votes on which color to color their home or paint their home. Excuse me. They didn't use markers. Headline 8, how to lose weight and keep it off with the right diet and mindset. I put that in for myself because this quarantine has been bad for my weight. So I need to get in. Davina, you've done a wonderful job. I have done a terrible job. So it's time to be able to go out and join society again for me. Number 9 is Victorian women. And speaking of workouts, Victorian women, did you know that they worked out too? And they did it wearing a corset? I don't know how they did it. CrossFit would be terrible, wouldn't it? And then the very last one is okay. I'm going to try to share my screen real quick because this is it's my Skynet link. Welcome to Skynet link of the day. You guys don't even know I was going to do this. Boston Dynamics RoboDog roams New Zealand countryside with a new purpose: sheep herding. Have you guys seen this? You can bring it. Yeah. Have you guys seen what these RoboDogs look like?
No.
No? Oh my goodness.
Maybe.
All right. I'm going to do a quick little share screen. All right. Watch this. You will either be super excited or you'll be completely freaked out. All right. Okay. We'll share it right over here because I'm just going to show you a little bit of what they look like. It's freaky. Watch this. Or watch this. Or don't watch this. What is going on? I thought I shared that. Hold on a sec. Sorry about that. One more sec. So thank you for joining us live.
You're welcome.
Here we go.
Oh, I've seen these. I thought yeah. I've seen them used to haul like a cart. What are those carts called where they could hold like one person?
That looks like something out of a movie.
That's yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, Donna's saying there's a Black Mirror episode that this looks eerily familiar to.
No.
It can crawl. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Carry weight.
No.
They're kind of incredible.
I saw iRobot and where the robots turned against the people.
Right.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want the weird dog thing coming after you, to be honest.
And I'm going to take that off now. So isn't that?
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
It's cheaper.
Kids.
It's like cheaper, and then they'll be, then they'll put them in the prisons to herd the prisoners, and then the next thing you know, they're going to use them as traffic control, and yeah. Mm-mm.
No, Jeremy had a much better idea. My husband said you could use them as baby carriers, and it could just follow you along.
Until they run off with your baby.
Hey, you know what? They
They
could
could just carry the baby for you. Don't say your baby.
but you
They're
know
gonna
what?
have a little robot nursery. They're taking babies away.
They could be dog walkers.
They're not supposed to carry them away. Oh, there's iRobot. They're not like sentient. I mean, I suppose you could hack them and reprogram them.
Yeah. Mm-mm. No.
Davina, I feel like you had a good point that I might be on board for this one.
What, the dog? I said the dog could walk the dog.
Yeah.
The robot dog walking the dog.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think I could be down for that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Then what are we going to do for exercise?
Oil.
Don't look at me. Can you tell? Oh gosh.
Yeah. I don't know. Reading the headline, I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I played the video and went, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. Like
the one I thought was pretty neat. They were testing it out, and they can carry a lot of weight. So they were using it. You know how you have the what are they? I can't remember what they're called. They're like a single or two-person cart. Sometimes they're pulled by another person or a bicycle. Right. So they put a rickshaw on one of those, and it could carry people, pretty large people, in fact. And so I thought they were kind of neat for that.
Well, if I see one, I'll
riding around on dogs. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting there. I mean,
do you guys like cheaper?
We're already getting into self-driving cars and such. So, I mean, like we said it yesterday, the future is here.
That's right.
People are not riding horses; they're riding robot dogs.
Yeah.
I see one, I'll ride it. I'll jump on it and ride that bad boy.
I just want to know if it can fold the laundry. Can it fold the laundry?
Yeah, fold the laundry on its back.
All right, you guys.
All right.
So, on to the next item on the agenda. As always, every day.
I feel like we're in a business meeting or something.
Huh? It feels like a business meeting. I know.
Get us back on track, Steve.
Keep it moving, people. Keep it moving.
All right. Let me get you a quick intro, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Jurgen. I just saw Amber's comment. Oh my God, that was hysterical. All right. So we've got the tip of the We've got the real estate tip of the day. Every day we try to bring you something actionable where you can take and use and help build your business. So today's tip of the day, if you do it, is actually doing a virtual open house. In real estate, we're still not allowed to do open houses that we're accustomed to, but we are allowed to do virtual open houses where open houses are done by appointment only, and you can actually do video walkthroughs of the property with people. So get out there, do a virtual open house. It's a great way to connect with customers who are looking at purchasing properties. There are still like a ton of buyers out there who are looking for the right house, and they're trying to find that house however it may be. So go ahead, get that open house pushed out. You could still post it up on Northwest MLS, which will put it out to all the real estate websites. So there you go. There's your actionable tip for today. And I also, yesterday we had a tip about really spotlighting and interviewing. I think it was a business. I think it was yesterday. And I just was going to throw a shout out to Sandra Bowe, who went out there and did a video with the Sandstone Cafe, because that was awesome. So
cool.
It works.
Yeah.
I did a video of our new neighborhood. They went underground wire. I mean, it's not a restaurant, but we couldn't go anywhere, and they dug up everything. We have a nice new ditch, and it's country life.
Country life and country life.
Underground. Is that electrical wire?
Mhm.
Underground. So instead of power poles, you're talking about underground.
But only for a little strip, because one neighbor won't let them cut the trees to go above ground. So we have a little strip underground, and then the rest of the neighborhood above ground. Just neighborhood gossip.
Okay. Don't tell us where you live. Okay.
It's good to be in the know.
Down low. Oh gosh. Wow. And so we're getting ready to. Do you want to put a reminder on our trivia, because we're going to do our answer here in a moment?
No.
Our trivia question. What was it? How
German,
much?
you're muted.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to do one quick build on for Steve. Just left that up. Was on that. It was really a callback tip, and I love that was the one you were going with. Is really because those virtual open houses are the way we're able to do it right now. And if you take that opportunity to get out there and do one, it's not about being perfect with it, but you can start making progress to being proficient. And then as you keep doing it, you can really get excellent in it. So a lot of the tips that we give aren't necessarily meant to do one time and you're done, but occasionally we'll call back because it's a good thing to continue to reinforce.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say something. I muted myself for a while there. I didn't even know it. So
that was good. All right, let's go. Trivia. Are we ready for the answer?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey.
Hey. All right. So before we get to the trivia answer, I have a few shout outs. So good morning, Michael, Denise, Donna, Heather, Megan, Jared, Christy, David, Clarinda, Nisha, Tony, Pat, Amber, Willie, and Donna.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up, everybody?
What's
Glad
up?
to join us.
So glad you're. Woo! Hey.
Woo! Woo! All right. So for today's trivia,
I'm glad the camera was up higher. I think my belly showed on that one.
Oh gosh.
Can the robotic dogs make us go for walks?
I know. You guys, but at the end of this, my cheeks are always sore from laughing. The smile.
We burn lots of calories on talent.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, Christy.
We're ready.
All right. So, how much trash does the average American produce in a year? Is it 772 pounds, 1,072 pounds, 2,072 pounds, or 3,072 pounds? So, the answer is, if you divide the total trash by the population, the average American would produce about 2,072 pounds of trash per year total. That's crazy.
Wow.
And if you do it per day, it's about 5.91 pounds of trash per person per day. And only 1.5 of that gets recycled.
Yikes.
Nice.
Yikes.
Now you know.
A lot of trash.
And
5 pounds a day.
All right.
Yeah.
Ashley, use your right hand.
Oh, yeah.
Are you hitting me? What's going on?
We're only high-fiving because we got the answer right. That is an enormous amount of trash, and we all need to do our part in saving the environment.
I'm like, why is everyone patting my box? No.
All right. You know what? Steve, guess what is in 6 minutes?
Holy moly, I've got form fighters coming up in 6 minutes. So we are going to wrap it up right here. Any final words?
Yeah, I just want to say, real quick, I just want to say happy birthday. I think you probably were going to say the same thing too to Lindsay and Donna this weekend. Yeah. They are both turning 21. So happy
birthday, babies.
Forever 21.
Yes. That's exactly what I was going to say. Happy birthday, ladies.
Happy
Yep.
birthday.
Yeah.
Happy
During
birthday.
Corona, some people are drinking like they're Forever 21.
Right.
Right,
All right.
that's what I heard.
You can go shop at Forever 21.
No, it's XXI now.
All right.
Is
Steve has to go. Steve has to go.
Steve needs to go.
Okay. All right, guys.
The commute's terrible. He's never going to make it.
Yep. Okay, let's go. Let's have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. Make sure you be bold. Enjoy the sunshine. And we're going to go out on a big be bold on 3. 1, 2, 3. Be bold.
Be bold.
Woo!